You're going to probably have.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right, we're being recorded. I will kind of start all over. My name is Marie. I'm so glad you're cooking with me today. So we have a bunch of pampered chefs in their own kitchen cooking and other ones watching. One of the reasons that we're doing this together is to share ideas and hacks and tips and tricks. So if you are using your pressure cooker to cook this, your deluxe multi-cooker, you're going to have your chicken laying on the bottom. You're going to have 2 tablespoons of Southwest seasoning. And like I said, the lid is 1 tablespoon. So 2 lidfuls on top of your chicken. And then your jar of salsa, whatever kind you want. Throw in an onion, throw in a jalapeno, doctor it up however you want it. You're just going to dial it to poultry, press it, and then it's going to right now default to 15 minutes. Depending on how much chicken you're using, you might dial it down to 10 minutes or whatever. And the secret with the new one is you got to press and hold for a second for it to start. And then it will say run and you know you're good to go. Now, if you don't have one of those, maybe you're new and you're going to earn it this month, you could certainly use your rock and throw your same thing, throw your chicken on the bottom, throw your salsa. You can also use your rock deep covered baker. And you could go old school and heat up the grill pan on the stove. If you're going to be doing that, you're going to want to add a little bit of oil to your chicken before you put your chipotle on it, and probably not throw the salsa in until after you've grilled your chicken. All right, let's talk waste and leftovers. Before we go to is everybody kind of on the same page? Do you have your chicken in your cooker? I have a thumbs up. Patty, tell me if I'm good to go and keep on going.
Yes,
all
keep
right.
going. You're good.
All right. So the average American wastes $2,000 a year on groceries that they throw out. And it is about 250 pounds of food. So one of the things that we can do in our parties is share with guests how to use leftovers. If you heard me say, I took a chicken and I cut it up, and then I also made soup out of the bones. So you could have a $8 chicken, go for several meals, make a soup, make a meal, and use it. iPhone is talking, Patty, if you want to.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, leftovers from this meal. So in another recipe with Pampered Chef, one other version is to use a can of beans that have been drained, not rinsed, on the bottom underneath the chicken, and then still do the seasoning and still do the sauce. And then pulling out the chicken at the end to chop it up, you would have that bean and salsa stuff on the bottom. You would add in some cubes of cream cheese and make like a creamy bean salsa, wonderful sauce. So then you could take that sauce and have rice in a bowl, the chopped up chicken, and then that creamy gravy on top of it. So that is one idea. Another idea is to use your chicken to make Southwest salad. So you're going to have leftover salsa chicken, and you may want to write this down. It's a 2-ingredient recipe. You take ranch dressing and either add our chili lime rub or our chipotle seasoning to it, and you'll have a chipotle ranch dressing, or you can even use our Southwest. So then you'll have a zesty ranch. So you're going to have your crisp greens, add your Southwest chicken on top, and then your zesty ranch. And then if you want to either crumble up some Doritos or chips on top of that, you're going to have a great main course salad. Of course, wraps, of course, burrito bowls, of course, mile high nachos using it. So we have lots. So now let's finish our pico de gallo. So if you haven't already, we have our manual food processor. Let's see, will you guys be able to see me? Is Portal following me here? So what I have in here so far is the onion, my jalapeno, and my cilantro that I'm going to chop up. Now the recipe now says that I should take my lime juice. So when you're using lime juice, you're going to cut your lime and you're going to have cut side down in your citrus press. Now, limes and lemons are a typical food that you end up with leftovers. Like you only need a little bit of lime juice in the recipe and you have a half a lime left. You can certainly zest the outside, juice it, and put it in a zip lined baggie. The reason I'm telling you that instead of an ice cube tray is you're not always going to want the serving size that is an ice cube tray size. If you have it frozen flat like a sheet of glass, you'll be able to snap off the amount of lemon juice or lime juice that you need. Now, the other thing is when you're at the grocery store shopping for lemons and limes, one thing to look when you buy them is look for not a big nipple. Okay, so your lemons and limes have nipples. The thicker the nipple, the thicker the rind. And you want more juice and more fruit, less rind. Okay, so that's being juiced in there. Now, truly, this is do it your own way. I took the seeds out of my jalapeno. You can choose to leave them in. You could choose to use your manual food processor for everything, or my salad choppers. When I'm doing a live cooking show, I love having the tomatoes in the batter bowl and my salad choppers and having everybody rough chop up the grape tomatoes that go into the pico de gallo. Anybody else do the same? Anybody use your, can I see like, I am seeing a handful. Okay, so the mom-daughter team over there is saying yes. I think this is such a great way, lift and chop, and then you're not even dirtying, you know, another surface. So look at how good, can you say, look how good the salad choppers. So I have my tomatoes in the bowl and I have everybody doing it. Now, when I do pico de gallo, we are adding, I will always use a tomato and make a tomato rose. So I am going to show you guys how to do that tonight, only because I think, let's see, where should I stand that you guys are going to see me? So right there. I think you can see me, right? Is it zooming in? Come here, Portal.
We can see you. I know. We can see you, Marie. Actually,
All
this
right.
is good because we can see the whole your tomato. Otherwise, if we zoom
Okay.
in closer, we won't see.
All right. So, edutainment. I am going to talk about how sharp our knives are. And I love our tomato knife. Excuse me, I'm going to take a little water. But I like to have a little wow. In fact, we used to have wows that we would talk about at our shows. So if you have a full-size tomato, you want the bottom of the tomato, not the stem side. And what you're going to do is just cut a flap. Sorry for that. And then, if you can see, just a flap. And then I'm coming around the side of my tomato with a jagged cut. So I'm just going back and forth, and I'm skinning my tomato, which is going to make it easier for me to chop up in that manual food processor. But you're going to This is something that's fun to do if you're making bruschetta pasta, if you're doing a salad. This is the perfect garnish to have on the middle of a veggie tray. And if you have any basil, the basil makes the perfect leaf. So just like it was in real life, you're gonna roll your tomato back up with the skin being on the outside and the meat of the tomato being on the inside, and you roll it back to that first flap. So it's just gonna sit there, and let me show you. Do you see how pretty this rose is?
There you go.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
So now this is gonna sit in the garnish next to the pico de gallo or on the platter that you're serving your chicken with. And it's just these little extras that you teach your customers that make them want to come back to another party because they're learning something new. Now, tomato knife is exactly what it's the perfect thing to cut tomatoes. It's got your serrated edge. The other little tip, since we're making salsa, wouldn't matter, but if you have to de-seed a tomato, because a lot of recipes like bruschetta want you to de-seed a tomato so that it's not too juicy, or like in a pizza, if you're using fresh tomatoes, cut your tomato across the equator, and then I want you to squeeze and shake, give it a quarter turn in your hand, squeeze and shake. And what you are going to see is my tomato half without the juice in it. So now it's easy to use. I can throw this in my manual food processor to finish chopping it up. And it doesn't have the skin on it. So what do you think of that? Is that all right? All right, so if you're following along, our chicken is cooking and your pico de gallo should almost be finished. So we're gonna just finish this up and I'm gonna throw it in my bowl.
Okay. So Maria, I don't know if you can hear me, but, and you could keep pumping, but, you know, I think a lot of people are learning something new with all of your tips about the tomatoes, the limes, you know, all of that. So I put in there, what is anybody else learning something new? So put it in the chat, if you will.
Oh, thanks, Patty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the cilantro was in there. So now here's my pico de gallo.
Can't see.
I don't know.
Step back.
I don't know
There
if it
you
looks
go.
like the
Okay.
picture in the
Yeah.
advertisement, but we've got it. So we've got some rough chopped tomatoes that we're done with the salad choppers. Now, salad choppers are one of the things on my top selling list. I really love them. We're going to be using them. So we'll quickly do our guacamole and then we're going to chop up our chicken. So guacamole, obviously this month, it's pretty exciting with the avocado tool being the special deal. So I'm going to be using my manual food processor again. I've got all my ingredients in here. I'm going to throw my garlic clove. Did you see that I just put my garlic clove in my citrus press instead of my garlic?
I can't see that, Marie. I wasn't going to say anything, but you know.
I did catch myself and I was like, where did it go? So we have
a group effort here.
I'm sorry, what?
We have a group effort going on here.
Okay.
We have
Go
Terry's husband wanting to cook too. So
All
he
right.
made the salsa and now he's sitting down to eat it.
Okay. That's,
So how does he like it? A little salt and pepper in there.
sounds good.
So I'm throwing in my cilantro. I have some jalapenos. And I'm going to get all of this chopped up before I add my avocados. Now, you could just buy some of this, and then it's just two avocados and a tablespoon of this, and you could be done. So it's up to you. And the other thing, have you guys made any avocado toast?
Yes.
And okay, Pampered Chef has the everything but bagel spice.
Oh, so good.
Oh my God, it's so good on a piece
So
of
good.
toast with the avocado sprinkle, the everything but bagel on top of your avocado. Try
Delish. It's delicious.
All right, so we're gonna chop this up. This $40 food chopper is still one of my favorite items in my kitchen. So all of this that we've been making, you could certainly substitute your food chopper for it. Now, one of the value things is, if you didn't know this, 58%, let that sink in. 58% of the time wasted in the kitchen is cutting, chopping, and slicing without the right tools. So the everyday person who is not a pampered chef and doesn't have a pamperized kitchen, they are doing everything with just their knives. And chances are they're not even holding their knife correctly to chop everything up. And their knife is probably dull. And that is why so many people say, I don't like to cook. I wouldn't like to cook either if I had to use the crap from their kitchen. So investing in quality tools in the long run pays for itself. The right tool for the right job will save you time and money and produce professional results. So you could choose whether it's food chopper, manual food processor, your chef's knife, your salad choppers. You can do it your own way, but having some basic core things will make a difference. So I'm going to get, oops, helps if I have this on here, right? Have that part prepped. And now, what is super cool this month? All right, I'm doing it from here. I am just slicing my avocado around using the knife end. Beautiful. I don't know if you know this trick. You're just going to kind of squeeze your avocado. And if you squeeze it, it's going to pop out. Did you see what happened? I just squeezed it and the avocado popped out. And now I'm going to whack-a-mole my little nut, get rid of that. So this month, Pampered Chef is donating $1 to the American Cancer Society Hope Lodges for every avocado tool that we sell. So that's a wonderful win-win for you to be promoting it. Now, you could be having your own fundraisers going on. In the 42-year history of Pampered Chef, they've never doubled the donations to any organization that we want. So that means that if your organization is the Alzheimer's Association or the Heart or your church's mission group or a hockey team, if the sales are under $700, 20% is donated. If it's over $700, 30%. Now think about that. Somebody spends $150, or let's make it even for me so I don't have to figure out the math. They spend $100, they're getting a free gift with purchase, and $30 of their purchase is going as a donation to that organization. There's no markup on our products like there is when you buy popcorn or whatever. So how great is that? So again, I'm gonna just squeeze my avocado and it pops right out. So I am going to add my avocado to my chopped up things in my manual food processor. Voila, all done. Now, you certainly, if you were doing a live show, you may want to be talking about how pico de gallo is a great 0 point fat-free condiment and how it can be used in so many different uses, like on a chicken breast or along the side. This is actually a healthy in a hurry. You could call salsa chicken healthy in a hurry. So now we're going to have an option of how we're going to serve it. Are we going to serve it on the lettuce leaves? Are we going to serve it in flour tortillas? If you don't already know, the tortilla warmer is amazing. This is not just for heating up your tortillas, reheating up like dinner rolls, leftover pancakes. If you make pancakes and you freeze them and you get them out of the freezer and pop them in here to reheat them for the kids in the morning, that is a fabulous thing. If you have a grilled cheese sandwich that's left over or something, you could put it in here. If you want a warm ham and cheese sandwich, it's perfect in here. So any food item can be reheated. It also works for a baked potato. Who knew, right? So, all right. So this is going to go in here. Are you guys all with me on, let's press cancel and let's release any, so my pressure naturally released. And I love that our new one has the place to put the lid, right? So
Marie?
What?
Marie, how long did you put your chicken on for?
I did whatever it said for poultry. I didn't adjust it.
Long way to go. Oh, because
So
mine.
it said 15 minutes. So that's what I had in there.
Oh, so you started yours before the video started then?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
I
all right.
didn't
That's why
think-
mine's not done yet.
Oh, okay. So this is really falling apart. And I'm just going to chop it up with my salad choppers. That's my favorite way of chopping up the cooked chicken. And if you have ever seen, I learned this a long time ago from John. If you want to have a little fun, if you've ever seen Legally Blonde, there's that scene in the beauty shop where you lift. Then, so lift and chop. You want to make sure you lift it all the way up. And that is definitely something I would hand off to a host or somebody to do. But if you can see this is cooked chicken. Now, obviously, if you did your rock or deep covered baker, it was probably already done. You could do the same. I also want to show you the brand new coming out July 1st, our fajita skillet. I got mine just yesterday, my fajita skillet, and it comes with a wooden board to place it on. So if I wanted to, I took a little chicken. I have the Southwest seasoning and a little oil. And I can just slice up, let me go right here, slice up some red pepper and onion, and I can make I'm gonna cut this into smaller slices. I can make up some fajita skillets on my stove. So you could kind of do a few different things. So I am going to open it up for discussions. I want to say, if you're promoting the deluxe multi-cooker, you save 70% of your cooking time under doing it with deep pressure. I mean, what am I saying? With the pressure, you cook 70% faster, and you could cook from frozen chicken. It also keeps the vitamins in the food because you're not losing them. It's a self-contained, and you're amazed at how much liquid actually comes out of your food, but you haven't lost it in a skillet on the stove. So if you took 3 chicken breasts, split them with your cut and seal, you could do some chicken breasts in the air fryer. You could do some chicken breasts on the stove with your grill pan, and you could do some chicken breasts in your pressure cooker, in your deluxe multi-cooker. Have the chicken done, be set for the week with what you're going to use your cooked chicken for. So let's open it up for tips and tricks. Fresh is always best. Oh, one more thing, grating cheese. So I think I have it in the fridge. Fresh is best. Fresh is best. If you're going to be talking to your customers, or let me just talk to you, do not buy the bag of pre-shredded cheese. You're paying for air. There is a filler in it so that it doesn't clump, and there's a preservative in there so it doesn't spoil. I challenge you to look at the back of the bag of cheese. You will see words like cellulose. Can anybody unmute and tell me what cellulose is? Laura's got it.
Sawdust?
You guys want to put it?
Sawdust.
Is it sawdust?
Exactly.
Yes.
It is
Food
sawdust.
grade, it's food grade wood
Food-
pulp.
It's food grade wood pulp. That's why the Parmesan cheese in the can, and your half a block of cheese, we have a great grater. In the long run, investing in something like a grater will pay for itself. The average family going out to dinner now, that bill is close to $75. If you go to somewhere other than McDonald's, even going through McDonald's for a family of 4 is costing you $40. 2 or 3 dinners out, that family can invest in a double burner grill pan and press. They can own a multi-cooker. You can have a rapid prep mandolin for the cost of 1 dinner out. It is investing in tools, I think just makes sense. It makes sense, CENTS, sense. You can choose where you spend your money, but I think what people need these days is like what to make. So this salsa chicken recipe is crazy simple. Like I said, if you wanted to do the beans underneath that chicken, that juice that's in there right now, just add some cream cheese, make it a creamy sauce. And one of the meals that you can have this week is taking rice, putting the chopped chicken over the rice, and then pouring that hot Fiesta deliciousness over that. And then you can top everything with cheese. You've got your pico de gallo, you've got your guacamole. You could slice up your avocados, have your cream cheese. So I want to open it up for you to share your tips with this recipe. I know I have experts on this call. Laura's here, Missy's here. What would you guys add to this kind of party or show?
You covered so much, Marie. I mean, you really did a great job with all of the products that you were able to incorporate in this. This is a winner. This is a winner recipe. I love it. Yeah. And a lot of people were learning a lot from that. You added those fun little tips in there. Just really, I love the tomato roast. Every time I use a tomato, I'm like you. I do the tomato roast. Yeah.
Go ahead.
You could do a sangria or some kind of a drink or lemonade in the quick stir pitcher if you're doing an in-home party.
Oh, that's a great idea, Peggy. This summer, you may want to feature one of the 2 new mixes. I can go
lemonade.
grab them.
Lemonade.
Yeah.
Wasn't there lemonade? And what was the other one?
Yeah.
Cucumber mojito.
Cucumber mojito.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you want to write this down, I have a recipe for a beer garita. They're delicious and they're made in the quick stir pitcher. Very easy. 1 can of like a lemon, like 7-Up or Sprite, 1 can of beer, 1 cup of tequila, and 1 frozen limeade. You know, you buy it in the freezer section, like where the frozen orange juice is, limeade. You're going to plunge it all up. Now, it's potent between the beer and the tequila in there. So you want to pour it over a glass that's filled with ice. You would be amazed. It is a delicious lime margarita. And if you wanted to, obviously, if somebody has if you have your blender there, you could throw all of the ice in the blender and have like a frozen slushy beer garita. But that is
Yeah.
a great
I did
add-on.
that one time. Be sure to add the soda at the very end and just pulse once. I forgot and poured it in because I was used to do it in the pitcher and it exploded. So it was fun.
Pampered, not perfect, right?
Exactly.
Oh my
Can we
gosh.
not put the ice in at all?
You need the ice.
I put the ice in the cup and then pour it over there. Yeah, but that would be a little strong. Yeah. But you know, they buy more that way. Now, I want to tell you how I start my show though. If I was doing beer garitas or lemonade or whatever in my quick stir pitcher, or I was using my wine bottle opener and opening up a bottle of wine, I would pour everybody a drink and we would stand, like, first of all, I bring extra aprons with me to a live party. I don't know about you, but if you've been in Pampered Chef for a while, you probably have extra aprons. So I have a bag of aprons and I ask everybody to wash their hands and grab an apron. And we circle around a table or the kitchen counter or in her kitchen. We're going to have, and I will have things kind of prepped, but a little interaction there. I start off with a drink, and the first thing I do is I have my hostess next to me, and I would have her name, and I would say, Patty, thank you. I love what I do, and I couldn't do what I love if it weren't for people like you. So thank you, and to your friends, to food, friends, and fun. Cheers. And then I would tell them what we're going to do tonight. And you make it a party. Now, normally what we would do now is the catalogs would be sitting on the dining room table. We'd all get our food and gather there. And that's where the discussion is. And people would say, I already have the food shopper, or I love this, or I need that. And I would then brag on other theme shows. And I would say, tonight you learned about a Fiesta party. When you have your party, we could do wine, cheese, and chocolate. We could do summertime salads. We could do, and you name your burger bar or whatever you want to feature for the summer. And I would love, now I know how many people here have ever taken a cooking class. Raise your hand if you've ever went and paid for a cooking class. Well, instead of paying to take a cooking class, my company pays you to host one. And for the price, you know, for the amount of money your friends would have spent to take a class, they will go home and have in their kitchen great kitchen tools that they'll use to make dinner for their families. And then we'll get to eat the results. How fun would that be? And that is kind of like how I did my thing. So, all right, few tips from the rest of you. Or
So wait, we did have, where'd it go? Oh, Cheryl King said you could show how to make your own refried beans. So easy. You could even cook the beans from dry in the multi-cooker. The refried beans. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Great idea. And that is definitely a budget-friendly meal to make your own beans. So is she on here? Does she want to quickly just give us the recipe?
Cheryl, where are you?
Cheryl, do you
No,
just want
I'm
to give
here.
us
I'm
how
here.
would you, okay, so
Why
tell
can't
us,
I
talk
see?
us through your recipe.
Well, I don't necessarily have a recipe, but I'll go ahead and
That's-
cook the
yeah.
beans in there, but I'll add onions and jalapeno to it.
Now you rinse your beans first, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. Always rinse
They-
them, look for any little stones, yes.
So
Put them in
that's
there.
the trick.
Yeah, absolutely. And I generally buy organic anyway, but still, you still want to rinse them. And then you add your water, and it's usually 2 to 1.
Okay.
Now is the multi-cooker, does it have a bean?
Yes, it
I'm
has
trying to remember. It's not in front of me right now.
white rice, whole grains, beet soup, then beans. Yeah, it
Yeah,
has a
okay, so it
bean.
has beans.
set.
Okay, so that should do it. And then when it comes out, I generally, because I like spicy, I'll add whatever, like I might add some dry garlic and you could add any of our spices, obviously, right? The
Mhm.
Tex-Mex or anything like that. But then I also add like hot sauce to it.
Nice. Now
Yeah.
you could be then using our Flex Plus, the
Yep.
emulsion
Yep.
blender to make refried beans, right? Is that what
Yep.
you do then?
I generally do that, or I'll put it right in the Flex food processor too. One or the
Oh,
other.
good idea.
Yeah, depending on how thick you want your beans, because I don't want them like soup, right?
Well, let's be candid here. When you make your own, like you're doing, you're paying a fraction of the cost
Right,
of buying it ready-made, right?
right,
Can-
exactly. And then whatever like if I use a whole 1 pound bag or whatever, that's way more than what I need for a meal. Maybe 1/3 of that I'll use, and then the other 2 I'll break in half and freeze in bags, put them in the freezer. Remember to write what they are and the date you made them on the bag.
Good point.
Yeah.
Now, that's a really good point about freezing. I think what people need is the reason people throw so much food out is they haven't planned, or they don't know that they can freeze things, like even milk can be frozen, especially if you're going to use it in mashed potatoes,
Right. Yeah.
or a cream soup, like potato soup or something like that. You can, or to make pancakes out of, or oatmeal out of. So we can reuse that. Anybody else want to share any tips? Patty, was there anything else?
Jamie did put a great tip in there. I don't know if Jamie just wants to share it herself or I can read it. Jamie, do you wanna? Maybe that's why
Hey
she.
there, I'm here. Yeah,
Yay.
whenever I do the salsa chicken, I always like to do some onions and peppers in the 12-inch cast iron skillet. And I usually sell 2, 3, or 4 of those. People love to see that skillet in action. And the peppers and the onions really complement the salsa chicken. People can put them onto tacos. They can add it onto nachos. And plus it makes the house smell really good. When those things cook, they just add a lot of ambiance to your recipe.
That's a really inexpensive add-on, but then that allows you to show cookware as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could show just you could use the simple slicer if you wanted to get, a little fancier and show cutting, or you could just use any of the knives, or you could even have those cut up and just ready to go as people are starting to come in. And then I like to use the chef's tongs for serving, and shows another tool. It's very easy to do.
That's a great idea. I think people are looking for ideas, not only for dinner, but like the fact that you can cook your chicken once and then have plans for several different meals during the week. And the fajita mixture that you just cooked is excellent in wraps. It's great on a pizza.
For sure, it's a great base for a lot of recipes, and you could make more. You could teach people, they could do a bunch up at once and have it, because if you go to the store, you can buy frozen sliced peppers and onions, and they're expensive. And I don't know if you've ever bought them before, but they don't smell very good. It will make your whole entire freezer smell like them. So anyway.
And I just want to put in a little plug, our 8-inch chef's knife. They did research and they said about 85% of the jobs that you do in the kitchen can be done by a chef's knife. So if you have a customer who is just looking to, where do I get started? Truly, a chef's knife is one of the ways. But almost everybody I meet does it wrong. And if you've watched the video on market imagery about our cutlery, it will show you, we have that little circle right there. It is not just to say Pampered Chef, it's actually to show you where you put your thumb. So your thumb, think of only 3 fingers go on the handle. You pinch it like you're holding a pencil, and the rest of your fingers are on the knife. So now your knife, it becomes an extension of your arm. And with a chef's knife, I want you to think about a plane coming in for a landing. You want to use the entire surface, not just the tip. So the plane comes in for a landing, and it's really fun to kind of just practice that. Now, you can also kind of hold down the tip and do a little rock and roll if you're like mincing the cilantro or parsley or something like that. And one more little food tip, since this recipe group uses cilantro, cilantro's on a stem. If you angle your knife, just an angle, and pull this through on the cutting board, obviously. So let me do it right here. I'm sorry. I would get an F with, so angle it and you pull it through.
Can you guys see that? Wait, Marie.
Well, what it did was pull the cilantro off the stem.
Mhm.
So you're
Great tip.
on an angle, pull it through so you can show it there, and just talk about investing in quality products. The biggest dilemma that everybody has at a party is what to get now that you need right away, and when to have your party so you can get the rest at a discount. And if you not only need everything but need some money, then you should be talking to us about joining our business. So think of the Girl Scout or the Boy Scout with 3 fingers. You always want to have buy it because it's worth it. Your time is worth money, or book for it to get it free, or have a shared rewards and all of your friends will share the perks, or join us and it's part of the kit and part of the growing kitchen you'll get. So buy, book, join should always be in like some of the main messages you give, and plant them, sprinkle them. It's not like you're going to throw up on somebody and ask them to book a party, but you're going to say, oh my gosh, if money was no object, what would you be getting tonight? Well, why not host a cooking class, and get the perks and be able to get the things that you want? Or if you could use a little extra money, I don't know, but if you could, this might be a fun, flexible job for you. So, oh yes. Oh, that was a good tip. Michelle said about rolling the lime to get
Yeah.
extra juice.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well,
Marie,
I'm
before you cut out, you did not talk about the wasted food that you talked about at the beginning that we didn't get on tape. So you guys, don't anybody leave just yet. It'll take her just a couple minutes. Do you want to do that?
I did, but maybe it didn't get on tape.
Right.
So, all right. The average family ends up throwing away 250 pounds of food a year.
That's crazy.
$2,000 worth of groceries go in your garbage can. Some of it is that you don't know what to do with the leftovers, or things spoil and you didn't realize that you could save some of it. But most of it, it's just meal planning. So when you're talking about stretching a budget, maybe you should also be talking about not wasting. And it really is truly like you went to the grocery store. This is what the article said. You go to the average American goes to the grocery store, comes home with 4 bags of groceries, and you're taking one of the bags and throwing them away. That's how much food is wasted on a regular
That's crazy.
basis here. And it doesn't have to be like that, even using up the bones of the chicken to make a soup out of. If you use vegetable broth, all the ends and stuff that you slice off, you can throw in a freezer bag as long as it's clean. Even your peels from carrots, you can throw it in a freezer bag and simmer it. You can use your multi-cooker to simmer it and make your own vegetable broth, with your bits of onion and everything else, and make your own vegetable broth that then you could freeze that. So yeah, I know that sometimes I make pizza sauce and I don't use up all of it, and I will freeze it and have it set to go for the next pizza or whatever. So
Yeah, very good, Marie. Thanks for sharing
all
that.
right.
I thought that was really great.
Yeah.
I don't
and-
see anything else in the chat.
Well, I think everybody wants to eat dinner. They're with their families and they
Probably.
probably smelled everything. If there was any questions, was there any questions at all?
Any questions? This has been recorded. So, oh wait, Edgar. Where's
Hey.
Edgar? Yeah,
Can you-
hey, Edgar.
Can you see me? Because I don't see myself.
Hey, do you want to take me off spotlight so
Yeah,
everybody can
hold
see
on.
everybody else?
Hold on. Yep. Remove spotlight. Okay, so I'm on gallery view. Where did Edgar
Okay.
go?
Can you see me? I don't see myself, so I don't.
Yeah, I don't see you, Edgar.
My camera's
I
on.
hear you, but I honestly do
Yeah.
not.
There we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
here you are.
Do you see me?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I had a food waste tip, but I can't show you because for some reason my camera's on, but I don't see myself. Let me turn my camera off and turn it back on.
Yeah, try
Yeah,
that.
camera's on. Oh, there I am. Haha,
Oh,
I
there
have no
you
idea where I
are.
disappeared. So on an onion, if you're using an onion in a recipe and you only need half the onion, so as you can see the shape of the onion, use the half that's by the top of the onion. Leave the hairy bottom half for later because it'll last longer in the refrigerator versus if you use this hairy bottom part first, then the top would spoil faster in the refrigerator. So, so do you know what I'm saying? So cut it from the top and use that half, this half,
Yeah.
save the bottom half, and then that'll save you some money. And I say that tip at shows all the time and they lose their minds. They're like, what? Really? Yeah. So cool. All right. And I'm going to
Something else.
Very cool. Same on a bell pepper. Keep the seeds in there and use the other half. Keep the stem in. Excellent.
Okay, you can take me off spotlight now.
Okay, I could do that, Edgar. If I could find it again, I gotta go back to gallery. Hold on, let me see. There we are. Take off spotlight, remove spotlight. Okay, you're good to go. Well, you're really not good to go. I don't know why. Okay, yep, you're good. Okay,
All right.
great job,
Well,
everyone.
thank you everybody for joining us. I hope you enjoy your chicken tonight. I'm assuming you may be using it in a tortilla or in the lettuce wraps. And I have my stuff to go along with it. So take a picture and post it, please, of your dinner tonight.
Great idea.
I would love to see pictures of that. So
Love it.
thanks, everybody. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
joining us
I better
tonight.
Stop the recording. Stop the recording.